What is up, people? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to their CSGO news episode. This one being, of course, all around the brand new operation, with it a CSGO update, which, by the way, could possibly change everything that we came to know and love as CSGO. This is easily probably one of the, if not the single biggest update ever in CSGO history. I say that with confidence because, well, let's get into the nitty-gritty. I'm going to first touch on the most important stuff in general. Many of you guys have probably been aware of this update now ever since last night. I wanted to do a full recap for all of you guys and why this is very important. Yes, it's been a long time. I'm very grateful for it. Will this change CSGO forever? I certainly do think so. Along with those changes, though, which we'll touch on in a second here, a couple new maps or a few new maps, 4 new cases, a brand new operation itself, 4 new knives, dozens of skins, brand new character models and character model skins. Along with that, missions, battle pass, unlockables, graffitis, a new sticker capsule as well. It goes on and on. This content that Valve just released out of nowhere yesterday, it's endless, and I kind of agree with Nell and others in their opinion. It almost seems a bit too much, right? We just had the CS20 case drop not too long ago, and now we have 4 new cases, the Norse collection, the St. Mark collection, the Canals collection. It's a lot going on when it comes to skin game, and on top of that, a battle pass, which you do have to pay for, and the unlockables in that battle pass, also you got to pay for the keys for that. You know, no one's really talking about this. Valve just cash grabbed the heaviest I think they might have ever had. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just a bit overwhelming to when it comes to recapping an entire video. What they just released, there is just almost too much to break it down individually. I will say quickly, when it comes to the actual update to the gameplay and weapons, yes, finally the Krieg has been nerfed, going back to the $3,000 price mark. Along with that, still pros have a few touching points that I think are very curious about that, because the Galil alongside the FAMAS have now been buffed, their price reduced, and their full auto sprays a bit easier to control. At least we'll see how that does break down. The Galil and FAMAS were already cheap. This makes them cheaper and better. So it seems a lot of people out there, Henry G included, talking about this, how it seems that Valve is kind of trying to attune the game to pretty much every round besides the first round. They want rifles, they want big boy weapons in your hands at all time. This is a big meta changing update. Do not get me wrong. It's not just gameplay and quality of life updates. This update in itself is what the pros wanted, but it will change a lot, because I would say the most important, the single most important part of this operation and the update that came with it is first ever female characters. I assume the hitboxes will be fixed, and they'll already be attuned for, because when it came to Fortnite, they have so many different character models over there, male, female, creatures, animals, and so it has been a bit of a struggle for at least a few of the skins and character models that Fortnite has released. I assume Valve, I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt here, actually thought about this, but I would not be surprised to see 5v5 teams out there only choose the female character model, even if it's placebo effect, because traditionally females are skinnier and of course a little bit more suave. You guys understand what I'm saying. A bit better when it comes to hitboxes, at least historically when other games had issues with that. Females are generally the characters you want to choose, and that's why we had presumed that CSGO has never chosen female characters, because reworking those hitboxes would be too difficult. Along with that, with these brand new character model skins is 2 other factors. It could be for callouts, just like Fortnite when it comes to competitive, even I guess you could say duos, trios, squads. When it comes to callouts for your team, they very frequently call out the exact skin of the player who is weak. That will be what CSGO now becomes in terms of callouts. If a team can also tactically choose, everyone has the same skin. That way, when the opposing team tries to make callouts and they say, oh, the FBI outfit, he's weak. If everyone's wearing the FBI outfit, well, then it's going to make it a lot harder tactically to make those callouts. There's going to be so many different things and so many different changes when it comes to competitive scene now. This is a big update, and I agree with Zonic on this as well. This needed to be a bit, maybe a bit leaned into, right? Needed a bit hinted at least, because when it comes to these changes, this is going to change the end of the year competitive scene greatly. So to summarize those key points when it comes to the weapon updates, that is meta changing stuff in itself with the gun gameplay. Alongside that, 3 other points, I would not be surprised to see more female characters being used, potentially for their hitboxes, if not just for the placebo effect where you maybe think they have better hitboxes. Alongside that, the entire team choosing the same character to benefit themselves in terms of disrupting enemy or opposing team callouts. It makes it a lot more confusing to say someone is weak, or someone you did so much damage to someone when they're all wearing the same outfit or have the same character model skin. And then very lastly, choosing those character model skins based off the map you are in to blend in a bit better. I think Device and other pros have already talked about this in terms of strategy. People need to understand this changes Everything. This is insane. But besides all that, I will get into the kind of less important stuff. It's kind of crazy when it comes to an operation. Usually the new maps, the new skins are the fun part to look at. For me, at least, when it comes time for this, and I don't know what you guys think, I found the most prolific stuff, the craziest stuff to be not even really the operation. Although, hey, jumping scoutsmen, we're all back, guys. Flying scoutsmen, the game mode is finally back. With that, a few new maps as well to be tested out. So Lunacy, Jungle, Studio, amongst those new maps. Alongside that, 4 new cases. A Norse collection, by the way. Hey, shout out to Norse. Other collections on top of that I'm not going to really dive into. I'm not a skins channel. Go see Jesus if you guys want to watch about that. Also, 4 new knives on top of that. If you've ever seen a big Valve cash grab, if this is not a cause to increase prize pools for CSGO tournaments for 2020 and beyond, I don't know what is. The figures that Valve will make off the CS20 case, these 4 cases, and an Operation Pass is going to cost you $15. Plus, yes, you can pay extra to buy tiers and get done with all of this ahead of time. Yes, CSGO now has a battle pass system, much like other games out there, where you can buy tiers ahead of time and get everything unlocked for a price you pay. Valve will be making hundreds of millions of dollars, if not at least, at the very, very least, tens and tens of millions in these opening months off of this. If that money does not go somewhat back to competitive, I will be very, very disappointed. Besides that, though, guys, I will say the most important part of this update is the meta-changing parts when it comes to competitive gameplay. It's shocking. I think it could be very cool. The end game accolades, I think, is a great way to show accomplishments of players out there across all game modes. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, the changes they did make, they were good changes, but they were also drastic and very, very fast changes. And so we'll see how this does affect competitive teams out there, because this is a very hectic time now to close the year, where we still have quite a few events as well, and especially going into early next year. Man, if you were a team already struggling, this is going to probably add to that hecticness. Until next time, I hope you guys all enjoy. But back here tomorrow, breaking down further CSGO news. Back here all day long, breaking down other esports news for all of you guys. Thank you all for watching. What's the biggest surprise? What's the best part of the update? Are you guys excited for it? Will you be paying the $15 or so for the battle pass? I know I will be, finally logging back into CSGO for the first time in a while, if I'm being honest with all of you. I'll see you all back here sometime soon. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your operation. Enjoy the gigantic CSGO changes.